illustration 9 of the chapter. You'll read along with me. This is a question which comes in very handy. Let's just say importer booked a forward contract with his bank on 10th of April for USD 200,000. Pause there, think about it. Let's just say I get the pen and okay. It's an importer. The importer has to pay in the foreign currency. In this case, it's dollars. And when the contract currency is in dollars, because the contract is quoted in dollars, this is the contract currency, CC. And if it's in same as the amount of payment to be made, and therefore you need to buy the forward contract. So booking the forward would mean that the importer has bought the forward contract. Okay, this is the rate, fixed rate of 64.4, and the bank has covered its position in the market at the rate of 64.28. Now what does it mean? The bank has covered. So the bank has agreed to sell. Okay, with the importer. In order to cover this position, the bank will have to agree to buy. And therefore, this is a buy rate for the bank. That's how you get the intuition. Okay. Now, the second thing is the exchange rates in the interbank market. So this is the important thing. What is an interbank market? Let's again think of it like that. The bid and ask is usually given from the customer point of view. The bid rate is the rate at which the bank buys. The bank buys and the bank sells. But in the interbank, the bank itself becomes the customer, and therefore the bid rate and ask rate mean this is the rate at which the bank sells, just like the customer, and ask rate is at the rate at which the bank will buy. Okay, that is the intuition for the interbank rate, else the problem would not be solved very clearly. Okay, given is the spot rate on 10th of June, 13th of June, and spot on June, but this is not the spot. The question assumes this is the forward of June. Forward June, 1 month. Okay, or June 30th, let's say. That's how you think of it. Okay, now exchange margin 1%. Again, to understand margin, a bid is where you sell, the ask is where you buy. So in a buy you add margin, and in a sell you deduct margin. Okay, that's how you understand this. And interest outlay of the funds, interest outlay on the funds is 12%. Again, let's see what is the 12% about. The 12% is per annum. Okay, since it's a bank who is outlaying their funds, so banks have a standardization of 360 days in a year, and therefore per annum means 360 days. And that's how you will solve the question again. The importer has requested for extension of contract with a due date of 10th of August. So what is the relevant date? 10th of August. This is the August, but it has requested on this date. Okay, and the importer would want to buy again, so this is the relevant rate, and this one should be crossed then. Okay, now the rate should be rounded off to 4 decimals in the multiple of 0.0025. That's standardization. You need to remember this to solve the answer. On 10th June, bank swaps selling spot and buying 1 month forward. Again, connect this to the points I was making here. The same idea. The bid is where the bank will sell, and ask is where the bank will buy. Now, the main idea is what to identify what is selling spot. Spot on what date? 10th day. 10th day spot rate of selling would be this rate. This is the relevant rate of selling. Okay, and buying 1 month forward on the same day. So 1 month forward bought would be this rate, and this should be cancelled. Okay, so this is buy, and this is sell, and this is again buy. Okay, these are the relevant rates. Okay, so question 1 is cancellation rate needs to be calculated. Okay, how do you calculate the cancellation rate? let's move forward. Very simple. The dollar market buying rate, first of all, that is given here. How is this done? The bank would need to cancel its open position and therefore has bought on spot, would need to buy on spot this date, 63.68. Why? The customer had an open position and therefore, if I'm not wrong, would be buying at this rate. Yeah, it's correct. The customer had open position, open of buy. To close it, you need to sell spot. Okay. And then open buy should be at spot rate because the contract has already expired, let's say, because it was 10 June the contract was supposed to be. And this is a very unintuitive part of the question, that the contract can be carried forward. Okay, so to cancel the contract, it needs to buy at spot. On what date? At 13th. So the date, so to buy this, the buying rate would be, to cancel out the contract by selling at spot. Open sell, sorry, my bad, because open buy means close by selling spot. Okay, so the relevant rate would be to sell at spot. This is the selling at spot. Okay, so customer would have buy at the rate of 64.4 as previously and would sell at the rate of, let's just say you have a working note for it. Okay, so the working note here says sell rate is 63.68, and since it's a sell, you would deduct the margin of 0.1%, and 0.1% of this is 0.637, let's just say. Okay, you want to deduct all of this, so you arrive at 63 point, let's say, I have to use the calculator now, minus 0.0637, and that's where you arrive at 6163. The nearest 0.25, so rounding to nearest 0.00025 would mean 63.6175 is the relevant sell rate. Okay, so you are selling at 63.6175. okay, and basic maths, if you buy at 64.4 and you sell at 63.6175, how much would you make? 64.4, you would make a loss of 0.7825. Surely that's the loss you are making. And in order to finish it off, you have an outstanding contract size of 200,000 USD. This is rupee per USD, and therefore you end up with a loss of 156,500. all right, that is the loss you are making. So cancellation rate is given as this, you deduct the margin, that's the logic. It has been rounded, same logic. And then you bank sells, not the bank, but the this is what I meant by customer buy and customer sells, and therefore amount payable by customer, that is the loss, is this. Okay, now coming to the second part, you have done this, you have done this. Okay, now swap loss, interest on outlay of funds, and new contract rate. The new contract rate is very simple. New contract on 10th August, buy. When it's buying, you add the margin. Okay, so August 10th you want to buy, this is the rate, 64.25, 64.2500, and this is 0.0643, let's just say. When you get 64 point what is this, 3143, all right, and the nearest round is 64.3150. this is the new rate of contract. I think that's how it's done. Okay, and this is, you see, the new rate 64.25, you add the 10% margin and rounded off to this. Okay, this is correct. Okay, you've done this as well. Okay, now the three things: the swap loss and interest outlay. The swap loss, let's consider the swap loss. What is the swap loss? The bank is buying at spot. Oh, sorry, not buying at spot. The bank is meant to be selling the spot and buy forward. Very simple now. You sell at spot. How much would you sell at spot? You would sell at 63.8. You would buy at 63.95. What do you make of this? 63.8 minus 63.95. If you wish, you would want 1.05. Okay, so the swap loss would be 0.15 rupee per dollar, and because you have outstanding of $200,000, you get a 30,000 loss. Okay, that's a 30,000 loss. That's again done. Now, interest outlay of funds. What do you mean by interest outlay of funds? Look here. You had open position which you covered originally. Original position was, if I'm not wrong, it was 64.28 rupee per dollar. This is the original position. This was the buy rate. Now you sell at spot. Sell at spot. At what rate? 63.80, if I'm not wrong. Not 63.8, wait. 63.8, I think this was the rate. You are selling at spot on 63.8. Yes, 63.8. You sold at this spot. Where is it? Here it is. 63.8. You sell at spot. What loss did you make? You made a loss of 0.48 rupee per dollar, and your total exposure was $200,000, which means a 96,000 rupees. If I multiply this, I made an extra zero there. Okay, 12% on 10 days for 360 in total times 96,000. That is the interest on this amount, on this exposure. What is it? If I'm not wrong, 96 is, first you cancel out the zeros, let's say, and then you have 12%, so you have 100 here. You remove this, you do this as well. Okay, 96. So you have a 0 here, 0 there. This is 3, this is 1. This is what? 960 divided by 3 would mean, if I'm not wrong, what is it? 32. Oh no, it's not 10 days. My bad. It's not 10 days. 12. Let's redo this. 12% for a 3 day out of the 360 days, because it's just 13th June, 13th and 10th would mean 3 days of difference. Okay, 96,000. So in order to cancel out the zeros, you first remove this. 1 2 3, 1 2 3 gone. 12, 1 3 3 3, yeah, 96. That's the answer. 96 rupees is your interest outlay. So your interest outlay would be 96. Now what do you mean by total cost? Total cost means the amount payable on this, which is 156,500 plus 30,000 plus 96. What does it mean? It means 186,596. Okay, that's my estimate. Let's just check. Okay, 186,596, and that's the correct answer. So this is how you solve this question, and giving every logic behind every thing in this question as well. When to use the buy rate, when to use the sell rate. And I guess that is all.